This is the Stowaway, a lightweight dinghy by Truekit Inflatable Boats, a New Zealand manufacturer. And as the name suggests, it's easy to pack down and stow away. Now, I was excited about the Stowaway because I already own a boat from Truekit, the Navigator 300. The Navigator 300 is a great boat. Seats up to 4, it has a transom for a motor, but it's a little too big if you want to just keep it stashed away on your boat and then inflate it when needed. As far as I know, I'm one of the first people to own this, so here's what you get. You get the dinghy itself that's folded up, you get the oars, you get a nice hand pump, you get a repair kit, that's the orange thing, you get a cover which wraps the whole thing up when you're putting it away, there's the floor, and you also get a nice aluminum seat. It also comes with decent instructions, although they seem to be generalized to all their boats. Okay, let's pump it up. Note the nice pressure gauge, which is a great feature, and the tube which attaches to the valves. Now, the pumping action is pretty easy. The pump itself actually has 2 settings, one for pushing more air and one for pushing higher pressure air. Overall, it took me about 10 minutes to set it all up, but of course this was the first time I'd ever done it. The valves are really easy to use. You just push them open and then you push again to close them. You close them before you actually add air and then start pumping. The Stowaway has 3 air chambers, one in the back, one in the front, and one in the floor, which I'll show in a second. The instructions state to inflate the pontoons to about 60%, then insert the floor. So you do that just by rolling it out, as so, and stuffing it into the edges. This probably was the longest part of the whole process. It wasn't particularly difficult, but just getting it in the right place took a second. You can use an electric pump, but the instructions recommend that you top it off using the hand pump to make sure you don't overinflate. Okay, let's inflate the floor. Now, the instructions say to inflate it to 80% and then do the rest of the boat and then inflate it all the way. But I didn't read the instructions, so I didn't do that. I just inflated it all the way. Okay, let's speed the video up a little bit here. Now, as it reached the higher pressure, I switched to the high pressure setting, and the instructions say to inflate it to 9 psi. The pontoon should be inflated to 3 psi. And time to put the seat on. I had a little bit of trouble with the seat. It should be easy. You just hook it in on one side, then the other. And what I figured out was I needed to inflate the pontoons a little bit more to spread out where those connectors are for the seat. And once I did that, the seat went on just fine. The oars come in 2 parts and clip together easily. They attach to the boat via the Railblazer system. I think that's a brand. They have instructions as to how to do it. Basically, you want to orientate the oar so that the nut on the connector is facing the front of the boat. Push it to the unlock position, slide in the connector, and lock it back in position. Okay, well, yeah, we're going to take it outside. Let's try it out. The Stowaway only weighs 14 kilograms, which is about 31 pounds. And because of the rope handles all around it, it's very easy to carry by yourself. I used one hand on the rope handle and one hand on the seat, and had no issues. Forgot the oars. I'll just go get them. You can carry it with the oars on there, but I found they sort of dragged behind, so that's why I carried the boat first and then attached the oars once I got to the dock. Because of its light weight and those rope handles which are on all sides, it was easy to lower into the water. The boat has pretty good stability, not quite as stable as the Navigator 300 I own, but still easy to get in and out of. The rowing action is very nice. I found it easy to maneuver. I found very little effort, push the dinghy along at a pretty good rate. This is at actual speed, and I'm putting in almost no effort here. So in terms of its maneuverability, I was very impressed. I think the Railblaze locking system is big here because you don't have to worry about the oars falling off. You might have to worry about dogs jumping on your boat. Pulling out, very light. Again, the rope handles really makes it easy. The Stowaway is actually a catamaran. You can see the pontoons sit lower than the floor, and I think that's what helps with the speed and maneuverability. I also noticed when I pushed it upside down that there's a painter attached to the D-ring in the front. It's kind of nice. Breaking it down is a lot easier than setting it up. You just push open the valves on the floor and on the pontoons and let the air escape. Once it gets low enough, you can remove the seat. And of course, if you push on it, you can help get the air out a little bit faster. Pull out the floor, fold it up. Try to use the same lines as you fold it up as it originally came. And again, you can help push out some air. And then we just fold up the boat. Fold each pontoon over towards the middle. Now, the other Truekit models have a transom which helps to fold it up. This one doesn't, but I actually thought that made it a little bit easier. And as you fold, you push out more air. The more air you get out, the easier it is. And try to keep it as compact in the middle as possible. Now, due to the compact nature of the Stowaway, you can put the paddles and the floor on top of it. It comes with this nice cover which wraps around it. And there is room for the pump and the patch kit in there. So there it is. Everything is in this one package. Now, as I mentioned before, I also have a Navigator 300, and the Navigator 300 folds up similarly. You can fold it up into a package. I'll put the folded up Stowaway next to the folded up Navigator to show you the difference. It's very light. The Navigator has a bag, which is where the seats and the floor and the pump goes, which is separate from the cover which goes over the boat because the boat is larger. Also, it's hard to see here, but the Navigator lengthwise is pushing at the edge of the packaging, whereas there's actually some extra space on the Stowaway lengthwise. The Navigator is heavier. It weighs twice as much as the Stowaway. You can also kind of see the Navigator versus the Stowaway is taller. The Stowaway is easier. And I was able to stuff it into the hold of my boat with no problem. So that is the Truekit Stowaway. Fits easily in your boat, very light, very easy to use. I chose Truekit for my dinghies because I had read they had the best quality and they were the lightest. And from what I've encountered in using them, that seems to be the case. I'll try to post some videos later of real-world use of these on my boat. But until then, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.